brand new cars. You got Chargers, Scat Packs, Mercedes, Genesis, Range Rovers, Range Rover, trucks, Teslas. Man, they should have repoed this. This ain't no Scat Pack. Look at that. The Savini's wheel with the, it's a regular Charger, man. And guys, these aren't, 2010, 2012. These are 2019, 2020s and up that are getting repoed. People are barely had these cars for a year, maybe less, maybe more, and the banks are picking them up and selling them at the auctions for a fraction of what they bought it for. Show you how cooked the car market is with all these high interest loans, people bailing out of their auto loans because they can't even afford it. Here we have a 2019 Range Rover. Has 80,000. Oh, this is beautiful. Man, I'm sure whoever bought this probably paid an arm and a leg, and it's gonna go. All these are repo.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachaha Kudash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessing to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakathum. And the title of this is Americans are going to go from repo man to the repo man. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because the car markets are getting bad. The loan defaults are getting really bad. Lots of people that bought houses but around 2021, 2022, even into 2023, the real gravity of what they did, which is a terrible financial decision, is about to creep up on them. Okay, because Esau's not offering fixed rates anymore. Okay, he's giving you these adjustable rates. All right, and so you watching, talking about the stock market going up and down. You don't know nothing about Fed interest rates and what do you call it, the bond markets, and how all of these different things impact, debt, which all of you are in debt. Everybody, anything of significance in your life, you had to go into debt for. They even we were laughing about it at camp this past Saturday. Even Taco Bell is offering you to break up payments into 4 different payments, man. Okay, and these cars are getting repossessed. I might go get me one if they got one for the low, because you stupid niggas, you would spend $100,000 on a Hellcat, man. All right, knowing you couldn't afford it. Okay, and you ruin your credit for years. All right, Esau's gonna get his shit back, man. All right, so the repo man is busy, and that's a major sign that this thing is getting ready to collapse. Okay, because the financial markets are one thing. Bad credit is bad on one side, but when your actual assets get taken away, when you can't even get to work anymore, okay, then that's when you're gonna start crying out. Okay, then you gonna see a lot of these hungry women coming out here. Okay, and I read something somewhere that women are like they're like 90% of the people defaulting on these mortgages and homes, man. Okay, so Esau is gonna take everything, man, from you. All right, now I had a precept. Let me go to this real quick. And James, we brought this out at camp, James the 5th chapter. Okay, because you all been defrauded. Okay, you all drank the Kool-Aid, and now you're gonna reap the reward of that, man. Okay, this is James 5:4. It says, "Behold, the hire of laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth." Okay, and because you go to your job, you work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Sometimes you still got to get a second job, and you're just making ends meet. All right, you're not servicing the debt, meaning the debt that you have, you're just making the interest payments on it. The debt is not going down. Okay, if you rack up $1,000 on a credit card, okay, and then they're charging you $60 a month, okay, in interest, and you're making $65 on the minimum payment, okay, that $1,000, you're not making any dent into it, man. Okay, so you're stuck in a debt loop, man, which is a death loop. Okay, because things are gonna get more expensive. Why are they getting more expensive? Because you're not practicing financial discipline. You go out and get a credit card to buy something you can't need. Of course, the prices are gonna go up. Okay, this is why stimuluses don't work. You give a nigga $5,000, the price is gonna go up, man. He's not gonna service his debt. He's not gonna save it. He's gonna put it right back into the economy because it's a mindset. Okay, and Esau basically strangled that out of you in his public school system. You don't know shit. Okay, now everybody's crying out. It says, "And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord Sabaoth." Okay, and that goes into the Lord of armies. Okay, And the Lord is not going to hear the cries of two-thirds wicked niggas, man. All right. He's not going to hear the cries of these heathen. It's about to get really, really, really bad for you, man. Okay. Because you did what? You trusted in something. Okay. Okay. 1 Timothy 6:17, charge them that are rich in this world that be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches. And all of you that have cash, okay, FRNs, you're not rich, okay? You have a lease of comfort, okay? Esau decides what $100,000 is worth, okay? That's why you can make a job 6 figures and it still ain't enough, because he decides the value of things. See, y'all think in terms of dollars, all right, but you're not thinking in terms of purchasing power. All right, you're financially illiterate, okay? And really, it's not really supposed to be that so much financial illiterate so much as it is. Esau makes the financial system witchcraft, where you got to learn, you got to go to school just so your ass don't end up in debt, man. Okay, you got to learn all these different terms. You got to learn about interest rates. You got to, when it should just be a bartering, a trade, okay? But by the time you read the U.S. tax code and you look at all of that high finance and it, mortgage-backed securities and derivatives and, credit default swaps, all right, and all of these different financial instruments Esau uses to keep himself rich and then you poor, you got no idea. None of it was certain, man, okay? And at the end of the day, even if the financial system was straightforward, he's still the devil ruling over you, man. He's got the sword, okay? It says, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living power who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. So you bet on the wrong horse, all right? And now you're about to pay deeply, man, okay? This place is about to get humbled, okay? This place is about to get unbelievably humbled, man, all right? Let's see if there's a precept on that one, because I'll explain what I mean by you're going to go from the repo man to the repo man, okay? Yeah, well, he speaks about when Yahushua spoke in Matthew 19:23, then Yahushua said unto his disciples, verily I say unto you that a rich man shall hardly enter the kingdom of heaven, all right? So if you're chasing riches, what are you doing? Okay, ain't nothing wrong with improving your quality of life, and ain't nothing wrong with running the business and trying to get money, but if you're chasing it, that becomes the thing that's at the forefront, okay? Then you're forsaking the kingdom of heaven. You're lowering your chances of getting to the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay. There's a certain mindset with individuals that do this, man. Okay. What does this say in Romans 16:18? For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. What do you serve then? Okay. If he's the king of everything under Yahweh his father, all right, then what are you serving if you're not serving him? It says, but their own belly, okay, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple, man. All right, you got Esau in these commercials talking about no, bad credit, no money down, come on down, and then your ass is in a 20-year loan. Okay, there's one woman that paid $235,000 for a Toyota Camry, man. Okay, let me see if I can find that real quick. Okay, let me see. Can't find it. I believe Orlando Minor is the guy that that did the video. Okay, see if I can find it. Is it Minor? Yeah, look. She took out a 35-year loan on a Toyota Camry, man. Okay. Now you say, well, how could she pay that much for a Toyota Camry? Ain't worth that. This place is demonic, man. Okay. If the longer you stay into a loan, the more he's gonna get your ass. Okay. You basically need to have the money up front to avoid wasting your money. but nobody got it up front. People don't even have $1,000 for an emergency. Okay, so that means you have to take out a loan. Now, a 5-year loan is standard, but this idiot right here, look at, it's a Keisha, okay, a 35-year loan, and by the time she pays that whole thing off, she done paid $250,000 for a car she probably ain't even gonna be driving in 35 years. Okay, and so you're a laughing stock, man. Okay, and that's why these cars are becoming repossessed. Because there's no forethought about what's gonna happen next. Okay, this scripture speak about the shameless woman running around wanton. All right. What am I thinking about? Yeah, Isaiah 47:7, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Speaking about Esau's kingdom, but the women are in this mindset as well. Okay. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. They don't think about tomorrow. Okay. They're in the Wisdom of Solomon 2 spirit, which I'll pull real quick. Okay, not worrying about the future. All right, and that's how Esau gets your ass. Okay, because he has thought about the future. Okay, he's got an agenda. Okay, and it says, neither didst remember the latter end of it. All right, and that's what you have, a bunch of women doing things on the short side of things, and they're inflating everything, man. Okay, who's holding most of the debt? Okay, is women. Who's doing the bulk? It's 80% of the debt women are holding, and 80% of the consumer activity women are holding. Okay, and this is why they put them at the forefront, in front of you, ahead of you. Okay, you got to go to her to see your child. Okay, you got to deal with her in the HR department. Okay, so this is by design. Okay, and the whole thing is going to collapse, and it's going to collapse violently. This is not just going to be, people down and out, missing a few meals. No, it's going to get bloody out here. All right, and we can't wait, man, because you people are wicked. Okay, but what did the scriptures say? After Esau gets the repo man on you, guess what? The real repo men are going to show up. That's the men of the Lord. What does this say here? And let me see. Daniel chapter 7. All right. Let me find it. Where is it, man? Come on, I just had it. My mind just be looking past words too damn quick, man. I gotta even type it in, man. It's gonna take me right to it, I guess. It was the 18th verse. Damn. All right. Daniel 7:18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever. Okay. So you heathen, you Edomites, your car's gonna get repoed, and then your entire kingdom is gonna get repoed. Okay, we're gonna show up. Yahweh Shai is the bank, all right, and he's foreclosing on everybody. Okay, he put out a lien to go out and take everything back, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be sent out as hunters, man. We're gonna, wherever you're hiding, we're gonna find your ass, man. In the mountains, under the sea. Okay, you're gonna try to go up into the heavens. We're gonna grab your ass, man, and you're gonna go straight into shackles, man. That's what the Lord promised us. Okay, what did the Lord say? I'm gonna start in Psalms 2 verse 1, it says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? All right. What's a vain thing? I said I was going to get this. I'm going to do it real quick. Okay. This is a vain thing. Wisdom of Solomon 2:1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. In other words, I'm gonna just take this loan out. I'm gonna just get a Hellcat. I'm gonna get this PPP loan. Esau ain't gonna catch me. You know. Yeah, I'm gonna take out a loan for $10,000, and I'm gonna go get a BBL. All right. I'm not gonna look up the health, the health implications of it. I'm not gonna see how dangerous I ain't worried about none of that. I just want to look good right now. I'm gonna take some Ozempic. Okay. Ozempic got people going to the spirit world. Okay. This is what happens when you take no thought for things. Okay. You're a hasty actor. Okay. Satan is gonna farm you, man. Okay. Satan loves hasty men. Okay. It's real easy to go off and your spirit is not in check over your flesh. All right. It says, verse 3, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish. Okay. Go verse 6. It says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. And that's how they got your ass, man. Okay, that's why you're in insurmountable debt. Insurmountable. Okay, look that word up. Okay, that means debt you can't get out of it. The entrance payments alone are enough to break your ass. So you're never servicing the debt. You're never going to get from underneath it. Okay. And so when the scriptures say Psalms 2:1, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Okay, this is part of what it's talking about. Okay, verse 2, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together, and the Lord Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. All right, so the elites, they plan this against you, man. And it's really targeted at Jake. The projects were made for Jake. Section 8 and EBT, that was meant to keep Jake in a low state. You know, they're convincing you that it's free money, but really they're robbing you of your ability to learn how money works. You're never going to understand the value of economics or the dollar if somebody's just giving you something all the time. Okay, you go into the same corner store and your ass is just happy there. Okay, that's a prison, man. Okay, you went from the plantation to the plantation. You just don't realize it. Okay, but but that's okay. Okay, you're supposed to let Esau have this shit, man. You know, that's why the Lord told us not to focus on riches. What did I just read? Okay, the kingdom of heaven, all right, is not a good chance if you're rich in this world for you to get there. Okay, you got to let those things go. Okay, it says, verse 4, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. All right, and that's what's happening right now. We're laughing at you, man. I'm laughing at that idiot that bought a 35-year loan on a Toyota Camry. Okay, that's ridiculous, man. Okay, they don't care because how do they get you? The note is low. On my note is only 180. It's only 225. And by the time you didn't pay that shit off, you didn't paid Esau literally 10 to 15 times the value. That car ain't worth $23,000. Okay, but you're paying $235,000 for it. $255,000. Okay. So yeah, you're in derision, man. Okay. Verse 5, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. All right, because y'all vex us, so y'all about to get vexed. And it ain't gonna stop there. Okay. Verse 6, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree the Lord Yahweh hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day I have begotten thee. So he set up Yahushai over us, man. Okay, over everything. Okay, and we're over everybody else. And you're gonna find it out real quick right here. Verse 8, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. That means we're going to repossess all of the assets, and we're going to repossess people, nations, okay? Y'all are literally going to belong to us, okay? You're going to go from crying, because these Edomites are catching it now from their homes getting foreclosed. They're getting kicked out of their own home, all right? You're gonna go from getting your car repossessed to your entire bloodline is going to get repossessed, okay? Verse 8 again, and I'll end it. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. All right? The uttermost parts of the earth. That means things Esau ain't even touched yet, man. Okay? He can kind of scan it on satellites, but Esau is not, he's not a populous enough people to occupy everything. Okay? That's why he has to lock down key trade routes, you know, like in the so-called Middle East, you know. He tried to control the Arctic, okay, and he sets up military bases on the coastlines, you know. But he can't actually dwell everywhere. The earth is huge, man, okay? And the Lord said, we're going to get all of that. That's ours, okay? So get ready for this to be a terrible year for the wicked, man. Lord willing, this is the last year. You know, so with that, I'll end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachak Shalom. Kwam Yashua.